Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you're doing very well on this Sunday morning. Well, last week we learned about God choosing a new leader since Moses was about to passed away. He died because he was very old. And God chose Joshua to lead the people into the promised land. And we saw the link to Jesus, who will also one day lead us into the promised land, which is the new creation. New heavens and a new earth. Now we're continuing the story today of Joshua helping the people and ultimately God actually helping the people to cross the Jordan River. So we're going to be looking at the Bible, God's word, God speaking to us, and we're going to look at the book Joshua that we started last week. First of all, we're going to read out of Joshua 3, verses 5 to 8, and then verse 13. And then we'll read some more, but I will let you know when we get to that. So Joshua 3, verses 5 to 8, and then 13. And we will read out of the New International Reader's Version, which can be found, as always, on the YouVersion app. So let's listen very carefully. Joshua said to the people, "Set yourselves apart to the Lord. Tomorrow he'll do amazing things among you." Joshua said to the priests, "Go and get the Ark of the Covenant. Walk on ahead of the people." So they went and got it. Then they walked on ahead of them. The Lord said to Joshua, "Today I will begin to honor you in the eyes of all the Israelites. Then they will know that I am with you as I was with Moses. Speak to the priests who carry the Ark of the Covenant. Tell them, when you reach the edge of the Jordan River, go into the water and stand there. The priests will carry the Ark of the Lord. He's the Lord of the whole earth. As soon as the priests step into the Jordan, it will stop flowing. The water that's coming down the river will pile up in one place. That's how you will know that the living God is among you." And then we're going to read out of the same chapter, Joshua 3, verses 14 to 17. Joshua 3, 14 to 17. So the people took their tents down. They prepared to go across the Jordan River. The priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant went ahead of them. The water of the Jordan was going over its banks. It always does that at the time the crops are being gathered. The priests came to the river. Their feet touched the water's edge. Right away, the water coming down the river stopped flowing. It piled up far away at a town called Adam near Zarethan. The water flowing down to the Dead Sea was completely cut off. So the people went across the Jordan River opposite Jericho. The priests carried the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord. They stopped in the middle of the river and stood on dry ground. They stayed there until the whole nation of Israel had gone across on dry ground. Well, this is really a very special story. So we have the Israelites again having to cross water. Do you remember when they just left Egypt? They had to cross the Red Sea, and God did something miraculous there, and he is doing almost sort of the same thing here. And the reason why is so that he can show to the Israelites, like just as he was with Moses, when Moses put out his staff and the Red Sea opened and they could walk through on dry ground, so God is with Joshua, their new leader as well, and the waters of the Jordan River move away and the Israelites can cross over on dry land. How amazing is that? And another thing, something that we haven't talked about lots, is the Ark of the Covenant. And it's a very special piece that they had in their tabernacle in the holiest place, and that the priests would carry ahead of the Israelites when they were walking or not camping. And the Ark of the Covenant, the reason why it was so special was that it was a symbol of God's presence. What is meant by that? It was a symbol of God going with them, God being with them wherever they go. Now, God is, of course, not just in the Ark of the Covenant. God is always, but always with us, and he is everywhere always, which is hard for us to understand. But this Ark of the Covenant was like a sign or a symbol that God is with them and that God is going with them wherever they go. So, boys and girls, that's our lesson for today. We can see how God goes with Joshua and the Israelites as they go into the promised land, just as God went with Moses and the Israelites when he brought them out of Egypt. So let's look at a few questions, boys and girls. First question, which river did the Israelites have to cross? And then second question, the Ark of the Covenant went ahead of them. It went ahead of the people. And what did it symbolize? Then last question, how did the Israelites know that God was with Joshua as he was with Moses? What happened? And then, boys and girls, there's a lovely picture for you to color in with the verse, Joshua 3, verse 7. The Lord said to Joshua, "Today I will begin to honor you in the eyes of all the Israelites. Then they will know that I am with you, just as I was with Moses." Well, that's it for today, boys and girls. I hope you have a lovely day. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.